Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. There is a private attorney here on behalf of Ms. Trinidad. If the court wants to start with Ms. Trinidad so that he can go.
Who is it? Who's the lawyer?
He's approaching, Your Honor.
Attorney Ronald John on behalf of Tiffany Trinidad.
Good morning.
I have my client.
Yeah, let's get Ms. Trinidad up here. Are these out?
State your name.
Tiffany Trinidad Burgos.
Could you hang on just 1 second, please? Let me pull out the paperwork.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, just let me take one moment. I've reviewed these previously, but I just want to take another look.
Did she put her name on record? State Attorney, can you put your name on record, please?
Yes, Blair Schneider on behalf of the state.
Okay, I read this affidavit and, Mr. Lejeune, do you believe there's probable cause established by the affidavit?
We would probably not dispute probable cause. What happened is there was an accident.
That was
She-
my, Mr. Lejeune, just hang on just a second. That was my only question.
Yep.
So I have somebody down there in Osceola, from PTR, right?
That's correct.
Yes, Judge. Officer Dunkirk.
Okay, officer, now, normally this charge wouldn't qualify for PTR, is that right?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, so is there anything you can tell me about Miss Trinidad in terms of her record?
She has no criminal history whatsoever, Judge. We did not find absolutely nothing.
Right, so if I were to order PTR down in Osceola, would you supervise her?
No, Judge, because count one does not, the charge itself does not qualify
Okay.
at all.
Well,
So
so
I
much
would just
for a judge's
recommend an
power.
ROR.
Imagine. So much for that. Okay, so,
We'd request release on recognizance if that's their policy.
yeah, I hear you. Let me hear from the state on this case, please.
Your Honor, state would be requesting a monetary bond, and particularly because of the F1, first degree felony, the danger to the community that this would pose. Just based on the charges and the facts before us, the state thinks that a bond would be appropriate.
Oh, okay. Mr. Lejeune, I'm going to ROR your client.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I read this, and it's just completely clear from the affidavit that this is, that your client's not a danger to the community, that this was a terrible situation that she found herself in, and she either hit her head or something else. She's never been in trouble, so no, she's not gonna stay in jail, nor is she gonna have some gigantic bond. So I'm gonna ROR her.
Honor.
I'm gonna order her to stay in touch with your office, so that you can deal with this issue in the appropriate way. I would just say on the record,
Judge,
I'm sorry, I'm not finished. I guess you didn't realize you were interrupting me. I would just say on the record that it's really bewildering that I can't get, at least some agency to check in on her from time to time. But nonetheless, so she's to have no contact with this other person who was involved in this incident, and I think that's it for me.
And Your Honor, just for the record, state objects.
Oh, yes, the state objects, yes. Okay, Mr. LeJean, anything else from you, sir?
Oh, but maybe it's on your side, because we can see you guys. Yes, we can see your thing, so you may have to. Can you hear us? Over there.
Did you hear me?
They lost audio and visual over there, so
God
maybe they got to read.
It's coming in and out, as long as you can see
Yes,
us.
we can.
I'm gonna have the PD, can you hear us?
No, it's you. No one talking. Anyone?
Hello,
Yes, we can hear it.
this is Attorney Ronald Lejeune.
We can hear and see them, they can't hear and see us.
Yes.
Okay, they can hear us, but they can't see us.
Oh, Mr. LeJean, anything else from you? No, he can't hear me.
Okay, so
I'm gonna put, the audio, we're gonna have the phone, you can hear us, I'm sure you can see me right now. So what we're gonna do is, even though you can hear us, I have to put you on audio so that, they know. To the telephone. Speaker.
yes, I have you on speaker on the telephone. Yes.
They can hear us, they can see us.
All right.
So that from our end, it's hard, you just can't hear.
My phone is way over here.
Yeah, so.
I'm not gonna do this by phone, so I'll get Mr. LeJean out of there.
You want y'all to do that? Let's put back on speaker. Hello? Yeah, Mr. LeJean, he's there already. He can hear us on speakers on the phone, but
Mr. LeJean, can you hear this?
Yes, I can, Your Honor.
Okay, is there anything else from you, sir?
No, Your Honor, you were telling her that she was going to be released on a recognizance, and that's the last that we heard on this end.
I would also order her to stay in touch with your office so that you can handle this appropriately. And I would also just comment that it's inconceivable that I can't get somebody to at least have her check in from time to time, but I guess I'm left with no alternative that makes any sense. So I think that concludes this case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. You can tell them I'm not doing this by
'cause that
phone.
sound like I can hear him over the speaker now. So I'm hang up. That's it. Can you guys hear us? Oh, I just hung up. Comment.
Judge, we can't hear you.
Did she hang up?
What you want to do, Judge?
We're on the record right
I'm
now,
not
so she should be
doing
able to hear
this.
us. Your Honor, we cannot hear you at this time.
Can they see me? Can you see me? They can't see or hear. Okay. All right. Let's just cut this off then.
So we're gonna do back.
I mean, I don't know what I'm expected to do. Can we just turn this TV off and then start with Orange County? Can we get them lined up, please? I'm
what do
tired
you-
of these people, dead people staring at me.
They need to, try to get it fixed over there, Judge, let us know.
Thank you so much. I didn't mean to sound quite so queenly when I said that. Jeez.
She said she's not doing it like that. You guys have to figure out how to get it to work. She said she's not doing it like that. She said right now it's working, they can hear us. She said go in and out.
Oh, well, I'm not doing that.
She said she's not doing that. So, I don't know. Okay.
Why doesn't he answer the phone?
It's been active up like that for the last 3 weeks, so I don't know why it's taking them so long. So they need to call technical support. And Judge, for the last,
Just one second, please. Matt, the AV to Osceola is down, so would you give me a call, please? It's Judge Roach, 407. I think you have this number. Thank you. Yeah. Just one more second. Let me call the chief.
we have like, how many?
But you have the clerk, Madam Clerk, the AV number, like
Um,
JR?
Yeah, but it's not on our
They-
end.
they're-
It's not on our end. It's on their end. So would they still be able to be the one fix it?
They can, I think it, sometimes it's just a switch.
I tell
But
them
they were able to hear us at the beginning, right? See us?
yes.
But then it goes completely out, and then it goes in, out, in, out. I'm not doing that. Come on, Fred. God.
I have a Jean and I have a.
Where
Nikki.
is
I don't
everybody?
have a
Who is it?
Jean and then Nikki.
Nikki is for the court reporters.
That's, it's an
And
audio,
Jean
tech-
is for the court reporters too.
it's an audio tech and they got them names there, so.
Munyon, this is Renee. Are you still doing backup judges for E duty? No, or did you? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, okay, so I can't get Fred, I can't get, oh, I have Fred on the phone now. Thank you, Lisa, have a good weekend. Bye. Fred, the AV is down for Osceola. It's completely down, and then it comes back, and then it goes in and out, so I'm not doing that. I tried to call Matt, he's not answering, he'll probably answer for you, 'cause, you know, whatever, so, yeah, so we just need to call Osceola and tell them we'll have to do these people tomorrow, I guess, so I'll have twice as many, unless something else can be resolved. I think Matt has my cell number, so, yeah. Okay, alrighty, thanks. Okay, that's the chief, he says we'll have to do them tomorrow.
Okay, so, Judge, I'm gonna call Osceola and let them know.
Getting on my last nerve here.
Yes, this is you want it, DLC, Judge?
Do we,
Judge,
do y'all need some time to now get your people lined up?
They're ready. We have the Spanish guy right here, ready to go.
Just let me get her, let me,
I'm not sure, hold on, Judge, she said you talked to Chief Pope? I don't know.
I'm sorry?
She wanted to know who you talked to?
Chief Judge Lawton?
They said they'll be sent for tomorrow. What you mean by, we have the paperwork, we just hold on to what we got, I mean, you want me to write reset on all of them? Okay. Okay, all right, reset for tomorrow, okay. And I just scan them in when I get a chance, if you want to. Okay, okay. So I put reset, she come, I got right reset on all of these, Judge, so. I write them on there, send it to them.
Okay, all right, so let's get started, and I'm sorry, I have the move-ups first, so I'll go to the Spanish
And I got one Creole.
and one Creole, yes.
Anybody call the names after Creole?
No, we're Ms. Spanish.
Okay.
Okay, and this is Mr. Crespo Hernandez, excuse me.
Daniel Romero, Spanish interpreter for the record, Your Honor.
Court is going to appoint the public defender for purposes of initial appearances for all of these defendants. I've reviewed these affidavits and found probable cause. there was certainly one, there may be a couple, so please speak up on probable cause. There, no problem, I'll certainly look at that, and I want to.
Yes, Your Honor.
Would
Thank
you announce your appearance for the record, please?
Marie Taylor on behalf of the Office of the Public Defender.
Okay, great. And then, Mr. Crespo Hernandez is charged with trafficking in heroin and possession of cocaine. I'm gonna assume if you want to hear from probable cause, you'll pop up and say, oh, by the way, or whatever.
Yes, Your Honor.
So his bond on count 1 is $100,000. His bond on count 2 is $15,000. What was her name again? Taylor? I'm getting senile, I
And then you
swear.
want me to put on your reset, need to technical?
I don't care.
Okay, you need to laugh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Or you can just say reset.
Okay.
Oh, here come all the victims. What?
Your Honor, would the court be inclined to reduce the bond based on the lack of sophistication? I realize this was a trafficking amount.
Uh-huh.
But he certainly can't afford that kind of bond.
No, I wouldn't. That's not really a reason. So can you tell me your name again? Taylor?
Marie Taylor. Yes, Your
Taylor.
Honor.
Sorry. Okay, Taylor. All right, so may I now see the Creole defendant, and who does the interpreting for
Well, I
Creole?
have to call the names like.
Oh, well, let's just sit back and wait then, because that's gonna take forever.
It should take a little bit different, but we go.
Oh, well, you should have been down with us in juvenile this morning. Thank you. Maybe see you tomorrow?
No, it will be another interpreter.
See
But
you
I'll
around
let you
then.
know, you'll probably start about 7:30. You're gonna have double the work.
Maybe, yeah, right. Okay, all right, see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
I mean, whenever. Take care, great seeing you, love talking to you, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Do we have pretrial release? What are the circumstances under which I can get PTR supervision for folks? Pretrial release, like check-in or something like that? No? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
For and hire,
Yeah.
they have to go into the office unless you're on the stage. Physically want them to go into the office and learn what they say.
Okay, okay.
And they have whatever special
Yeah.
measures. They just have some, crimes, some charges that can just.
No PTR. Yeah, okay. So I have some specific questions about can we get PTR on some of these?
Okay.
What about domestic violence? Can we do? Okay.
Unless
And
it's
if,
aggravated.
yes, I understand. And so if you see things that you want me to know PTR is available, then just,
And then some of them, the only reason why they did not qualify for PTR is because we want to be able to verify the information that they provided. So those outlaws, they really get bond or PTR, but they're saying they can come back and
Okay.
then give an address.
I'm gonna feel good.
Verify it, and then it's verified.
I'm just
and then
saying.
it's- It still can't be.
okay, got it. Okay, thank you. See, I told
sick.
you.
Yes.
I got cholesterol. I'm sick. I got cholesterol.
You have what?
Yes, I need a Haitian
I'm
Creole. You
sick
have Haitian
today.
Creole?
They're a Haitian Creole.
Stomach?
Yes, sir.
Is there any
You
other?
got a victim out there? No, ma'am. We can do him at the end. Y'all wanna do him? So they take, well, we'll see. Up to you, Judge, it's up to you.
About what?
If you want, he don't have a victim out there, we can do him at the end unless you just wanna wait.
Is there a victim somewhere? I mean, here?
No, she's not here.
Okay, so we don't need to wait for anybody. Oh, wait, what are you waiting for? Creole?
Yes. This is the fifth person asked me that. I need a Haitian Creole, please. Interpret, please.
Don't get aggravated. Now it's not helping anybody.
Yes, thank you.
Learn to be yellow like the judge.
Okay, thank you. Hold on. Put you on the loudspeaker. I need to translate for me in the court proceeding. Hold on. Okay, Judge. I'm gonna have to call you back. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Judge, I got the wrong phone.
Oh, no, you did not.
Yes, I did, Judge. I was fussing, and I got the wrong phone. See what you made
Anybody
me do?
speak Creole? No? French?
See what you made me do, Judge?
I did this.
Yes, you did. Yes, you
I
did.
did this, and I don't think so. All right, we're skipping him.
Okay,
Can we
we
just
do-
like hold him gently somewhere until?
We're gonna get him online. I'm sorry. I just made a
Okay, now. Yes, this is his daughter, I thought so. All right. All right. This is Mr. Butler.
Butler.
Hi, Mr. Butler. I'm gonna take care of this in just 1 second. And Mr. Butler is was arrested for child abuse. And what I want to know is, I'm gonna hear from the victim here in a minute. And what I wanna know is whether Mr. Butler qualifies for some P.
The charges are dangerous, specific dangerous.
Okay, so, can you hear me?
Yes,
What's your name?
Barbara.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you will give is true and correct?
Yes,
Okay. Barbara, you live with your child and your dad here?
yes.
Okay, why are you living with him?
I take care of him and my mother.
Okay, is your mother ill?
Yes,
Okay, and how old is your child?
3.
Okay, well, I'm not sure that I'm gonna allow you to continue to live there.
Oh, he was living in my house.
Oh, I see. You didn't move into his house.
No.
Okay.
He has a house around the corner.
Okay, all right. Now, what would you like to say to me about this situation?
I would like to have contact.
What kind of contact? What kind of contact?
Normal contact.
Okay, so you don't want anything to change?
No.
Okay, let me just say that,
I don't want him in my house.
okay, so where's he supposed to go?
He will go to his house for now. My friends will stay with him until my sister can come down and take him with her. She has no kids.
Okay. All right, so, public defender, do you want to be heard on this case?
Your Honor, I would just ask to honor the victim's wishes and set a reasonable bond so that Mr. Butler can,
I'm gonna ROR him.
Thank you,
if
Your
I
Honor.
don't, if we can't have MHPTR on him, which is exactly what should happen, but we
Yes, Your
don't
Honor.
have that apparently. Yeah,
You can order him to be screened for it.
okay, I'm ordering him to be screened for it. This is an age issue in part, and it really warrants it. So I'm going to ROR him, and I'm ordering him to be screened for MHPTR. He's to go back to his home, have no unsupervised contact with children. He is to, I can't order anything else in terms of somebody to help him out so he doesn't fall or inflict any harm on himself or anyone else. And that's what I would say.
Your Honor, state objects for the record, and also according to the Orange County Pretrial Release Program, child abuse qualifies as a dangerous crime that's not eligible for PTR.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I was just told this over here for repeating it, and that was not helpful. So he's going to be released on his own recognizance. You can handle this in the way your family would normally handle it, but again, absolutely no unsupervised contact, and then he's to be screened for some court-assisted program, which he may or may not qualify for, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
You still there? Okay. We'll just put you on hold, and the judge will put you over the loudspeaker, okay?
Oh, how proud.
Okay, so
We
we
must
have
be.
the judge.
Okay, yes. So, did I? Oh, yeah. Okay,
Now press the little talk button here.
yes.
Madam,
Okay.
I'm sorry, Madam Interpreter, you still there?
Yes, I'm still there.
You may have to speak a little louder.
Yes.
Okay, can you hear me? I'm the judge.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, very good. I have Mr. Lubin here, and he is charged with,
Travail, monsieur travail.
no. Tell him not to speak, please.
Digo parler, s'il vous plaît.
Okay.
Does he qualify for pretrial release?
Your Honor, this is the interpreter.
Well, I'm sorry, one moment. I'm talking to somebody else. I will say interpreter when I need you, okay?
Okay.
If we can get bond OPTR, the only reason why he doesn't qualify is because we wasn't able to reach him.
Okay, so he either has a $1,000 bond or pretrial release. He's to have no contact with this victim. If he is living there, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot the interpreter. Let me start again. His,
Your Honor.
okay, he has a $1,000 bond or the pretrial release program.
Okay. Ou genyen $1,000 pou ta bay kom bon, ou bien pou ta rentre lan program kote ke yo kapab lage ou avan séance jugement.
Real takes so much more time.
Oui.
And
Yes.
And when he is released from jail, he cannot have any contact at all with Violine.
E pi le yo lage ou sorti nan prison an, ou pa suppose gen aucun contact du tout avec Violaine.
Oui.
And
Yes.
if he lives with her, he cannot go back to that home.
Si toutefois ou habite même côté avec lui, ou pa kap retourner lan kay sa.
Oui.
But if he does live with her, he can go back one time, but only with a police officer or sheriff.
Et si toutefois ou habite ensemble avec lui, ta pa bale une seule fois seulement sou genyen yon polis ou bien yon shérif ensemble avec ou.
Oui.
And the reason for that is to allow him to get his personal belongings to take from that home to wherever he is going.
Et raison qui fait ça, c'est pour capable aller chercher affaires personnelles ou capable aller côté où habiter.
Oui, mais chambre kay la c'est pour moi, moi qui loue chambre kay la, oui.
But
Kay-
the room is for me. I'm the one who rent that place.
I'm sorry, could you speak up just a bit and say that again?
Yes, Your Honor. The room belongs to me. I am the one who own that room.
Well, I'm sorry, he cannot go back there to live if she's living there.
Moi désolé. S'il toujours rete la dani ou même ou pas cap retourner la dani.
Non, chambre là c'est pour moi, pas pour violer ni. C'est sorti puis sorti, moi qui paye chambre quand parce que je pas travail. Et moi qui paye chambre là. Lik pour sortir. Pas même quand mal qu'on y a pas l'argent.
Okay.
I don't have any money and I'm the one paying that room. Your land should be the one to live because this is my room and I'm the one paying it. She's not
Oh.
paying it.
But you don't get to argue with me. I am telling you, and that is the end of our discussion.
Pas gagné pour faire aucune discussion ensemble avec moi. Samedi là, c'est ça lié et c'est point final.
Oui.
Thank you to the interpreter.
You're welcome, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
Bye. Okay, so maybe now we're gonna pick up the pace here. End call, hello, end call, okay.
And Your Honor, for the record, state objects.
Okay.
So them all hold on to them. I saw you that you read already today, so you gotta read them tomorrow, because you already marked it up.
Put a rubber band around and say, you already read these. Okay, Kadir Saad?
Yeah.
Mr. Saad, you are, were arrested for possession of meth and possession of cannabis. On the first count, your bond is $1,000. On the second count, your bond is $100. Why is that in there?
Your Honor, can we do PTR if he can be qualified?
What says PTR? No. Okay.
Is there a, what's his disqualifier? Oh.
Larry Frederick? Hi, Mr. Frederick.
Hi.
Mr. Frederick, you got arrested for trespass, and your bond is $500.
And I have a background like after Lincoln real life conspiracy, I had one abducted him as a child for slavery.
It's okay.
Get his
You don't have to
you know, the $5 bill if I can't make
It's
bail
okay.
on charges.
It's okay. You don't
For
have to.
for the bond,
you-
$500
you don't have-
bond.
Okay, thank you. I think Mr. Frederick is all finished. Thank you, Mr.
Can I
Frederick.
get out there?
Hold on.
I'm
Go
in
on,
there.
Mr.
Hold
Frederick.
on a second.
Yes,
I
sir.
think Mr. Frederick is trying to ask the court for ROR in his case because he can't afford the bond.
I know, and thank you, denied.
Can I get out today?
No, sir.
What's the time limit? How long?
Okay, go with this lady right here. Kenneth Hill. Hi, Mr. Hill.
Hey, how you doing?
Okay. Mr. Hill, you were arrested for giving false information, and your bond is $500. Thank you.
Your Honor, because this is a
Keep up
misdemeanor,
with me. You need to,
would the
like,
court,
keep up, keep up, keep up.
would the court consider ROR based on the
He's
nature of the
homeless and
offense?
transient, so no. Eddie Thomas, we need to have a better place for homeless and transient people than the jail. Hey, Mr. Thomas, you got arrested for petty theft.
Your Honor, he's hearing impaired.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't speak American Sign. Do you have another request?
That device.
Okay. He's impaired. Mr. Thomas, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay, excellent, thank you. You got arrested for petty theft, and your bond is $250. What says the public defender?
I'd ask for ROR, Your Honor, or if the state would make an offer at this time.
Okay, is the state inclined to make an offer?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Okay, and what's his record? Does he qualify for PTR?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so his bond stands. All right, Michael Wilson, you need to stay up with me, counsel. Michael Wilson.
What I do?
I see you, Mr. Wilson. Why is this like this? I see, okay. And, let's see. Good morning, Mr. Wilson.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Wilson, let's see, you got lots of papers here. You had an open container charge. Your bond on that is $250. And then you got something else, which is tampering with physical evidence and resisting an officer without violence. Your bond on those charges are $1,000 and $100. So does Mr. Wilson qualify for PTR? Okay, so he can't plead these out. And what do you say, public defender?
Your Honor, I'd ask for ROR on the alcoholic beverages charge, and if he can provide an address to the court, I'd ask for ROR too on the felonies.
No. Denied.
As to both cases, Your Honor?
Yes. Jason Michael Taylor Wright. Okay, Mr. Wright, let me look at this again. Okay, this is the, all right. Mr. Wright, hold on just a second. What's Mr. Wright's criminal history, if any?
I'm sorry, I apologize. He does have, resistance without violence and battery dating violence. He just has no convictions.
Okay, so this charge is alarming, but would he qualify for mental health PTR?
We have to be screened by the mental health professionals.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is order that he be screened for mental health PTR, and if he qualifies, he can be released to that program. If he doesn't qualify, I mean, I'd be inclined to set a relatively high bond on this case because this is, you know, these threats are so alarming.
I understand, Your Honor. He's informed me that he can afford approximately $500, which I believe would correlate with maybe up to a $5,000 bond.
Does the state want to be heard on the amount of the bond?
Your Honor, state is just requesting a high monetary bond.
Okay, well, this is a what degree felony? Okay, never mind if you don't know that off the top of your head.
It should be an F3, Your Honor.
F2? Thank you. And you didn't go to law school, I bet. Okay, but you know the answers. So that's, I think the bond schedule says 5,000 is a high bond for an F2. And so I would set his bond at $5,000 if he doesn't qualify for mental health PTR. And Mr. Wright, you see my eyes looking at your eyes? Do you see that? Okay. if you get released, you're not to get on a computer. No computers for you. None. Zero. Zero. That's a condition of your release. And you know something else? You're not to use a cell phone or have one in your possession.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're not to even let the idea of this person who was involved in your getting arrested, we call them the victim, she's not even gonna make it into your brain. So you're not gonna call her, you're not gonna text her, you're not gonna email her, you're not gonna send her a snail mail, you're not gonna speak words to her face to face. You're not gonna tell somebody else to tell her something for you, none of that. You're not going to telepath, smoke signals, nada, nothing. Do you understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you violate that, you'll be put back in here without a bond for a long time, understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent.
Your Honor, does that order include communications like with family
With
or
her
work
family?
or school? No, Your Honor, just his own family. I don't want to put him in a position where he has to use his cell phone to survive, but then risks breaking the court's order.
Here, you know what? People survived for a long time in the past without cell phones. So yes, no cell phone.
And Your Honor, for the record, state objects to any PTR on this case.
You just said 500.
I said if he qualifies for mental health BTR, then yes. I got a parrot at home. Okay, Richard Zilnicki, and I really do.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, really. I really do. His name's Gumbo. Hi, Mr. Zilnicki.
Hello.
I'll take a picture and bring him tomorrow if you're here. Okay, Mr. Zilnicki, you got arrested, and it was for possession of drug paraphernalia, and your bond on that charge is $500. So, yeah.
Your Honor, he'd like to resolve if the state has an offer.
Does the state have an offer?
No, Your Honor, state doesn't have an offer today.
Okay. Nelson Figueroa.
Your Honor, if there's no offer, I'd be requesting ROR for Mr. Zilnicki based on the nature of the offense and his inability to pay.
Okay, what is Mr. Zilnicki's criminal background?
He has 7 felony convictions, 7 misdemeanor convictions, 3 unknowns, 1 DOC for burglary of a dwelling.
Stop, that's okay, I got it. No, denied. All right, so Nelson Figueroa. Hi, Mr. Figueroa.
How you doing?
I'm okay, how are you?
Getting over this sickness. I got cold.
Oh,
Got
you got a
sick in the
cold?
weather.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, so you got arrested for.
Was sitting on the concrete.
Sitting on the sidewalk. God help us.
I guess they were
Yeah, that's okay, you probably don't
building
need.
it.
You don't
Yeah.
have to say anything.
So $250 is your bond. Does the state have an offer to resolve this case?
Yes, Your Honor, state is requesting, how much credit does, 2 days? Credit time served, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. Mr. Figueroa, would you like to get this case done today so
Yes,
you could
ma'am.
go out and get some NyQuil?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Does the PD want to give him some talking?
Sure.
Life's too short.
Yes, it is.
Life's too short to be so serious. Huh. I've been doing this job too long, you know. Serious about that. Serious as a heart attack. But it's funny, this bird that I have, he calls my
Are you
dog.
thinking clearly today?
Calls to
Yeah,
him,
I
and
want to know
then-
about the court costs and all that.
Whenever I put anything on top of the stove, he makes the sound of the fire
You
alarm.
want to plead no contest?
Because I've set it off so many times. I swear. It is a scream anytime I start frying like a burger or something. This is on the fire alarm. Oh, you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you raise your right hand for me, please?
You swear affirm the testimony shall give me the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, state your full name.
Nelson Ivan Figueroa.
You can put your hand down, Mr. Figueroa. Mr. Figueroa, you know you were charged with sitting or laying on the sidewalk. Okay, so that's a criminal charge, and you have the right to a jury trial, the right to have a lawyer with you, the right to be presumed evidence, all that constitutional stuff, you know, you understand that.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you enter a plea of no contest to that charge, you give up all those rights. Okay. So is that what you want to do, Mr. Figueroa? You want to resolve this today without a trial?
Resolve it today.
Okay, so you signed this plea form, right?
Yeah, I signed it.
And did you sign it of your own free will?
Yes.
Did you decide that's in your best interest to take care of it like this?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the amount of time and the advice you've gotten from this
Yes, I'm
lawyer?
satisfied.
Is there anything you'd like to say?
No, I don't have nothing else to say.
Okay, Mr. Figueroa, the court accepts your plea, finding a free, knowing, voluntary, and intelligent waiver and representation by competent counsel. On the charge before the court, Mr. Figueroa is adjudicated guilty, sentenced to time served in the Orange County Jail, and court costs. You want me to just send those right to collections court, or you want me to put him on a payment plan?
Your Honor, I'd like a reduced to a judgment if the court would be willing to
Oh,
do
that's what
that.
I mean, yeah, sorry.
thank
Yes,
you.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Reduced to judgment. Thank you. Good luck, Mr. Figueroa. Hope your cold gets better. All right, let's see now. Donnell Frazier.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Mr. Frazier.
How you doing?
What happened to your face?
Police.
Pardon me?
Police.
Oh, Lordy mercy. Okay, Mr. Frazier, you are here on a charge of violation of probation. That some other judge signed a warrant. You have no bond on that charge. Okay, so then next, Donald Harris. Mr. Harris, you're also charged with violation of probation and pursuant to a warrant. You have no bond.
Your Honor, Mr. Harris wanted to bring to the court's attention that this violation, it appears that he was violated for something that may have happened before he was placed on probation.
And that's exactly what he will need to take up with the judge who signed the warrant.
I understand.
Or the judge who's assigned to his case.
Just give me a second, because the paperwork is not
What?
it's not,
I did not mess up the paperwork.
it's not.
Well, it wasn't me.
Give me 1 second, Judge. Let me get it back in order. I'm sorry.
I get accused of all kinds of stuff, don't I? What are you looking for?
My paperwork is not here. What did you, I got the.
You got to talk to your office people.
Who was it?
Let me see, it's my office people.
Okay. I know him.
Are you Mr. Begent? Vagent?
Mental health, Your Honor.
So, no, yep, okay, mental health. Oh, you're Mr. James?
Yes.
All right, Mr. James. Now, it looks like you were out on bond,
No.
and gosh darn, then you got picked up for ag assault? Is that, no? Okay, bond, no, I'm wrong, I beg your pardon. Yes. Hold on a second. Let me just remember this. Oh, this is the fire case, yeah. And this is Mr. James. Right, Begent is the, yeah. All right, Mr. James, so in this whole thing, which was so complicated, it just about, so you got arrested after all the dust settled for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and aggravated battery. So, on the aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, your bond is $3,500, and on the aggravated battery, it's $150.
You should have two cases, Judge.
I know.
Oh, okay, you got another one.
Yeah, she's gonna say something, but she can't keep up with me. No? Okay. All right, now, Mr. James, you also got arrested for possession of cocaine. Your bond on that is $1,000. Possession of under 20 grams of cannabis, for that, your bond is $100. And possession of paraphernalia, your bond on that is $100. Okay? All righty. All right, Jesse Aponte, you Mr. Aponte? Mr. Aponte, you got arrested for battery, dating violence. So, I read this, there's probable cause here. I've set your bond at $1,000, but would he qualify for PTR? So, then I would place him on pretrial release, not the bond. Mr. Aponte, you can't have any contact with this woman at all.
Yes.
Which means no.
Texting, calling, nothing.
Yeah, okay. And y'all, if y'all were living together, that can't happen anymore. If
Yes.
you've got stuff at her place or what used to be your place, then the only way to get it is if you can go back one time with a cop to get your stuff.
Yes.
All right?
Judge, that was maintain separate resident, one-time return.
One-time return. Yes. Okay, good luck to you, sir.
And Your Honor, for the record, state objects.
Uh-huh. Zachary Richards. Mr. Richards, you were arrested for violation of a domestic violence injunction, and your bond on that charge, just wait a second, let me refresh my recollection on this. Okay, what does the state think about how high this bond has to be?
I apologize, Your Honor. One moment. Your Honor, the state does not have the arrest affidavit, so the state doesn't have the facts before me, but the state is requesting monetary bond.
Okay, I'm sorry, I was confused about this at the beginning. So this is May 3rd. I don't understand why these police officers can't just say, there was a domestic violence injunction entered on this date. So where is that said? Temporary injunction issued on April 9th and expired on June 6th. Okay, so if the DV injunction had expired, how is this a violation? Okay, I established probable cause. Oh, expires on June 6th. Sorry, I had a senior moment there. So, yes, this is, it was still in place, I see. I'm sorry, what did the state say about a bond?
State's requesting monetary bond, no contact.
Okay, well, I'm really troubled about this defendant's behavior as described in this affidavit, which includes drunk, hollering and screaming, gun, all of those, which if you add those together, it equals bad outcome. So I'm just trying to think about what I want to do here in terms of, this seems like a very dangerous situation. What's this guy's history?
He has arrest for battery, DV, kidnapping, false imprisonment, aggravated battery with a weapon, tampering, misdemeanor proceedings, domestic violence, battery by strangulation, and
Those are all just arrests, not convictions?
all arrest cases.
No convictions? Okay, so. Okay, so he can take this up, I think, with the judge who's assigned to this case. In the meantime, his bond is $25,000.
And Your Honor, I would just request that the court consider his ability to pay. He's told me that he can afford approximately $500 to put toward bond. I think although the arrest affidavit does have concerning facts, the argument for the gun is going to be, I think, a constructive possession issue. So I just ask
Well,
that the
why are they all,
court consider
well, I don't
that.
know, I just know what the affidavit says, so that doesn't seem to really fly in light of the affidavit. And he can argue that ability to pay issue to his judge. But
I
based on
understand.
this is the worst affidavit in the whole pile. And I've got a 10-inch pile here between Orange and Osceola. This is the worst. And what that arrest record says is, your client engages in extraordinarily bad behavior, and then he prevails on people to drop charges, his mother, girlfriend, whatever. And in the meantime, this behavior continues to ramp up. And as a felony judge for many years, if I had the chance, this is the kind of person I'd send directly to prison, not community control, not probation, but I'm not, so that's all academic.
I understand the court's position, Your Honor.
Good.
We would just put on the record that the arrests are
25.
not an implication of guilt in any way. I was just laying the record for the.
Okay, excellent. I understand. Do your job. Sure.
And that the initial appearance judge does, per the statute, have to consider ability to pay within the factors, along with the rest of the factors that the court can consider.
So are you gonna have his are you in a position to have his employer come in here and subpoena his bank records? Because I wouldn't accept just testimony from him. Because I'm willing to do that. We'll be here till late into the evening, but if you got all that stuff, we'll have a hearing.
Your Honor, if the court's not inclined to take testimony, then he's going to need to wait for a bond hearing to put forth that evidence.
Okay, that's a good idea. Now, if he makes this bond, he's to have no contact with any person who was involved in this little dust-up, shall we say. And I think that was mom, girlfriend, the demon rum. That means no alcoholic consumptions. He can't go back to his mother's home. He can't live with his girlfriend. He can go one time to with a police officer to get his whatever, tuxedo, whatever, and get out of his house, but that's it. All right. Oh, well, he's already been told once, no weapons. So, yes, let's tell him again.
Okay.
What's the matter with these people, honestly?
All right, well, Your Honor, can you just clarify in the order which of the individuals you said the
Oh, can I have the
defendant's
affidavit?
girlfriend?
Sure. Is it? This is Mr. Richards. Okay, so let's see. Okay. Heated argument. Let's see. Mom. I guess there's no ambiguity about that. He only has one of those. mom, that not stepmom, not adopted mom, natural mom, not.
Natural.
He only has one mom. So mom.
Your Honor,
Oh, Angela Michelle Wilkerson.
Your Honor, I was referencing specifically,
I just, it could, if you ask me something, then you have to give me time to go through this and answer. His 11-year-old sister. His girlfriend, who, the 11-year-old sister had the audacity, according to this, to walk out of her room while he was trying to talk to his girlfriend. So her. Let's see if there's anybody else here. Nope. Any other questions from Mr. Richards? Stephanie Nicole Yulee. Hi, Miss Yulee. You got arrested for domestic violence. Just give me 1 second. Oh, yes. Is there a, no. Okay, does Miss Yulee qualify for PTR?
She refused to provide the needed information to qualify her.
Okay, well then her bond is $500. If she's released, she's to consume no alcohol. She's to have no contract with Andrea, the victim, and no return to the home. If she resides with Andrea, then she can only retrieve her belongings one time before she finds somewhere else to live. Okay. We need to crank up the progress here. Yang Zhang. Hello.
Hello, Your Honor.
Okay, now, does this arrestee qualify for pretrial release?
She refused to provide the information.
Okay. So, okay, so she will be released on PTR if she provides the necessary information. Huh? Oh, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, I'm so sorry.
No
Go ahead,
problem.
swear.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear affirm testimony shall give me the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Len Chen?
So, do you know this person here?
Yes.
And how do you know her? I mean, is she a friend? Is she a co-worker? Is she your sister? What?
Like a friend and a business partner.
Okay. Now, she got arrested. Are you the person she threw the plate on?
Yeah.
And what do you want to say to me?
I want I want to contact and then let you go home, you know. I just, yeah.
Do you want her no contact or contact?
Contact. Contact. Yeah, we still.
So you want to see her
Yeah, see.
and talk with her, so long as she doesn't throw a plate,
No.
right, or anything else?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Or hit, no hitting,
No.
right? All right, so she's released on PTR if she provides the required information. If not, her bond is $500. And would the state care to question the alleged victim about contact?
Hi, sir. Are you in fear at all?
No.
Nothing further, Your Honor. State just for the record, state objects to pretrial release.
Okay, anything else from the state? Okay, hearing nothing, if she's released, she's to have no hostile, that means she has to be nice. No hitting, no throwing, no bad behavior.
Yeah.
But you can have contact with her as long as it's not, mean or hurtful. So not even any yelling, loud yelling or threatening, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
By that.
If it gotta happen, I can call police.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can call. Yes, very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is the slowest.
And your badge.
Latoya Brothers.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Brothers, you got arrested for what we call in the law throwing a deadly missile into a vehicle, which I think could be anything from a hand grenade to a burrito. It doesn't matter. You can't do that. Maybe deadly requires it to be like harder than a burrito, but you get my drift. So when I say missile, it could just be basically anything. So that's why you got arrested. And then, according to this, when that happened, some windshields were broken. So what I'm gonna do is, does she qualify for PTR?
So you're on a dangerous crime.
Huh?
It's considered dangerous.
Okay, so her bond is gonna be $1,000 on count one, which is a reduction by 50%, and a $100 bond on count two. But listen, this is the most important thing for you. This guy who was, let me say, his name was Michael Wilson.
Yes, ma'am.
You can't have any more contact with him as long as this is going on.
Yes, ma'am.
So no talking, no calling, no texting, no emailing, no contact.
Okay.
You can't even say to your brother, boyfriend, anybody, you tell Michael blah, 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 because that's contact. You can't do that.
Yes, ma'am.
Because if you do, it's gonna be bad. Don't do that. Don't do that. No contact. All right. So, anything from anyone else?
Does corrections have any other holds? For regard? Okay, thanks.
Okay, Buckles.
If you post
Hi, Miss Buckles.
or you can.
Okay, as soon as this conference is over, I'll talk with you. Miss Buckles, unfortunately, appears to have been out on bond when she was arrested. Miss Buckles was out on bond when she was arrested. So, this looks like she was on bond for some stealing stuff, and then she gets arrested for grand theft. So her bond on the grand theft is $1,000, which is a reduction by more than half, but her bond is revoked on the other case. We got many of these.
Your Honor, would the court appoint the public defender on the out on bond cases as well, please?
She has a regional counsel on that.
Oh, okay, that's why I didn't have it. All right, thank you. All right, you're all set.
Correct, Judge? So when you revoke, you said it at 9? Yes. Okay.
Mr. Carbon, Charles Carbon,
Good
another
morning.
unfortunate situation, aggravated assault with a firearm, out on bond, and lo and behold, here we get a new arrest, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, that's a $5,000 bond, and possession of cannabis, that's a $100 bond. So all of that seems straight up correct to me, and so your bond is revoked.
Oh. Okay. Your Honor, could the court appoint the public defender on the out on bond case, please? I see nothing in
Well,
the
he's already
system.
he's already gone through, do you need it because he's already been adjudicated and you all drop off then?
It
He
look-
had, he must have had a lawyer.
What it was, Judge, that he bonded out before he came to court, so he didn't get a,
Oh, a
attorney.
PD, I
Right.
see. Okay, and so ordered.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Octavius Clayton. Okay. Mr. Clayton has walked the same sad path as these other folks before, which means that he was out on bond for possession of a controlled substance, possession of cocaine, and possession of cannabis. And he was out on bond in January, and lo and behold, he gets arrested for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, that's a $4,000 bond. Possession of ammo by a convicted felon, that's $150. Possession of cocaine, that's $150. Possession of cannabis, that's $100. All that staying exactly the way it is. The only thing that's gonna change is his bond is revoked. All right.
On this out of bond case. That's your attorney. No. I let her know you're here, though.
Okay, now, Sebastian Fernandez, everybody take a look at this affidavit. What in the world is this? What is this? Other than no PC? Unless I'm missing something.
Yeah, Your Honor, state requests 24 hours to reach out to the officer for PC on the burglary. However, state does argue that there is PC on the resisting an officer without violence.
Yeah, I think so too. Right. But I just, that's nothing. So it's a burglary. This needs some rudimentary training on what PC means. This witness said, you know what it means, but good Lord. So no probable cause on the burglary, probable
Honor.
cause on the resisting.
Yes, Your
On
Honor.
the resisting, his bond is $250, but I'm holding him over for 24 hours so the state can get this officer to remember what it meant in police college to do an affidavit.
I understand, Your Honor. I would just request for the record that the burglary be set at ROR because of the no PC. The
Nope.
20. I understand the court's ruling, Your Honor.
Tonight,
The-
yes.
So you want his bond to be at 9 or just leave
You're
it at
gonna
9?
come back tomorrow and I'll see if they can
Because he,
actually
you have one amount on
figure
there,
out what
so.
the charge.
Let me say this, he has a bond, well, what usually happens, State, he has a $5,000 bond on that burglary charge. Could he bond out while I'm giving the state 24 hours to do?
Yeah, yes.
Yes, oh, thank you. $5,000 on the burglary, who knew?
But still, give the state 24 hours.
Yeah, but the state's got 24 hours, so that's, hopefully will come back to my attention tomorrow, right?
Yes.
So you can afford $5 to do that. Otherwise, you'll come back tomorrow.
But that doesn't make sense, but that's okay. Mr. Fowler? Mr. Fowler,
Yes, ma'am.
you also are in a sad predicament here because you got arrested for this bizarre charge of falsely impersonating an officer and judge down there in Osceola signed an affidavit and set your bond on that at $10,000. And the sad thing is that meanwhile, you were out on bond for false imprisonment, falsely impersonating an officer, community control person. So all that looks correct to me, and your bond is revoked.
Ma'am, I ask you please have lenience on me. I've submitted into the state's physical evidence and proof to secure my innocence.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
No. So let's leave that as it
Ma'am, I have a
is.
4-year-old child that I need to take care of at the home. If I don't get back, we're going to be homeless, and the things are going to be very financially stable, unable for me to get back on my feet to be able to do so.
No, denied. The creepiness factor in this is significant, so absolutely not. I know that's not a legal term, but Absolutely not on
And
this
the
case.
state, the evidence I had submitted to them? No?
Don't talk about the facts.
Go ahead
It's not gonna
and
help you.
submit your evidence to the state, see where that gets you. Okay. Kala Gilden,
She's behavior.
oh, okay, so mental health, that means she comes back tomorrow
Tomorrow.
if she's available.
Yes.
Okay. Elizabeth Harriel,
She's in the hospital, Your Honor.
oh dear, okay, same. Lavoyle Jackson.
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Jackson, you got arrested for possession of meth. Your bond on that, possession of meth with intent, I beg pardon. And your bond is $15,000. Then you got possession of under 20 grams of cannabis, bond $250. Possession of paraphernalia, your bond's $250.
Your Honor, I don't think there was PC for methamphetamine with intent. I think just simple possession.
Okay, let me take a look again, okay? Just 1 second, please, counsel.
Thanks.
Sure. Okay, let's look at this state. You got the affidavit in front of you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so here's the critical part, sort of just past the halfway point. So there's a scale with meth residue, 2 separate white crystal-like rocks in these pill bottles, and then some muscle relaxers, a box of sandwich bags, the white crystal-like rocks, 4.9 grams, and their meth. It looks like probable cause to me. It's arguable, I think, but for purposes of PC on this, I find probable cause. And I think with all of the ancillary material around that a trained officer would know is consistent with sale and delivery and trafficking. Well, what's the difference? How could it, why isn't it sale and delivery and not trafficking? I think there's PC for more than straight up possession because of all the scale, bags, all that stuff. But wouldn't that, at the very worst for him, make it PC for sale and delivery, not trafficking, which means something significantly more?
I mean, Your Honor, my understanding is that the sale and delivery is based on what was found on him, while trafficking has to relate to a specific amount.
Can you hold on? I'm getting some about Osceola here. Just, let's go off the record a minute. Matt? Yes, I'm I'm on the bench, but that's okay. No, that's okay. Yeah, we just reset everything for tomorrow, which will take more time, but I usually get through fairly quickly, so it's. Yeah.
Well, once she says what it is, someone's trying to post for you, go through.
Yeah. Well, it's not, it's not a huge thing, because I can get in and out of, I just, don't worry about, and don't drive anywhere. If you can't delegate this, just forget it. I'll get in and out. These people will help me. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you're right, at the jail, that's probably good. Okay. Okay, yeah, no problem. Okay, thank you, Matt. Okay, thanks. Okay, so what that means is, what that says is, no Osceola today. I'm not going back.
Right,
In
okay.
other words. So I'm sorry, State, for, pardon that interruption. Anything else you want to say about that?
No, Your Honor. Just that I believe that he's charged with intent to sell, and trafficking relates to a specific amount, which would involve FDLE testing.
Yeah, but there has to be something more than this for trafficking, right?
Yes, that's my understanding.
Okay, so I would then find PC not for trafficking, but for sale and delivery, which brings the bond down to what? What's the bond schedule say on that? Sale and delivery?
Your Honor, he's charged right now with intent to sell, which I think, based on the court's finding, would be correct. I was just arguing for simple
Oh, it's not
possession.
trafficking.
No, Your Honor, it's intent to
Sorry,
sell.
I went off down a path there, sorry. Okay, so yes, why would I change the bond?
I'm sorry?
Why would I change the bond? Because I found that there is PC.
Right, no, I understand. That's what I was saying.
Okay, so 15,000, 250, and 250.
Right.
Curious. Okay, let's see, and this is Mr. Masso?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Masso, you were arrested for third-degree grand theft, and your bond is $5,000, and this is a warrant, so, yeah.
And Your Honor, would the court consider reducing the bond? It has discretion even if the warrant's already set.
No. Dante Mitchell? Also. Mr. Mitchell, you were arrested for possession of meth with intent, possession of meth, and possession of cannabis. Your bond on count 1 is $15,000, on count 2 is $150, on count 3 is $100. So, this is all the same as Mr. Mitchell's affidavit, I think. Anything the public defender wants to say?
Yes, Your Honor, I just asked that the court consider reducing the bond. I realize the scheduled amount is $15,000, but he's not able to pay it. I see only 2 failures to appear, and that was 9 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Okay, motion denied. Willie Munford, Mr. Munford. Okay, I'll get right with you. Mr. Munford, I signed this warrant last night. Aggravated battery on a person 65 years of age or older causing great bodily harm. Battery on a person 65 years of age or older. Burglary of an occupied dwelling. Contempt of court, injunction for repeat violence. So, I guess I have to set a bond on count 4. The bond on count 1 is $10,000. On counts 2 and 3, it's $150. Does the public defender want to be heard before I set a bond on count 4?
Based on the rest of the bonds, Your Honor, we just asked for a subsidiary bond.
Okay. That's not happening. Anything from the state on a bond you wish to bring to the court's attention?
Your Honor, state is just concerned about the facts of this case. The state's requesting a monetary bond.
$10,000 on count 4.
Does count 4 have a case number? I don't have one.
I think I have just the affidavit. Can I see that?
Right, it's not
Just want to make sure it's actually a criminal.
Yeah, I understand,
offense.
sure. Let's just see. Yeah. let's see. Betty has a stalking protection order. Hang on a second. Oh, no, here we go, sorry. Both, no, I can't scan this, it's too, too confusing. All right, so let's look at this now. Betty has a stalking protection order against Helen. And there's a case number, and it was served and expires in December of this year. State, are you looking at this affidavit? Hold on. Willie was, let's see. Helen has an injunction against Willie. Oh, I found it, sorry. Case number 48-2019 DR 004944-0. Did you get that?
I did, Your Honor, thank you. I guess then my issue would be, I don't know that if the court can set a criminal bond on a DR case.
I can't. I'm
Okay.
setting it in this criminal case.
Okay, I
Which the crime
apologize.
is violation of a domestic violence injunction. So the factual basis is, there's an injunction, it says A, B, and C, he did B. Carolyn O'Berry. Miss O'Berry, you were arrested for possession of cocaine, and your bond is $1,000. Does she qualify for PTR? Okay, so the court would release her to PTR. And I want her drug tested under PTR. And that means drug tested, I would say if it's cocaine, is that, how long does it, I think, let's say twice a month. Twice a month, and then the standard conditions of PTR. Okay? Go ahead, State.
It's a drug case, Your Honor. State does not object.
Oh, very good, all right.
Well, I guess the condition would be no drugs, alcohol. No.
But see, they have they do that. So it's a standard conditions, it's like probation. You don't, I never had to say, oh, you can't, I only had to say the special condition.
Yeah, well, you'll get paperwork, and someone else will be assigned to your case.
Kyle Paulin?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Paulin, according to this, which caused a judge to sign a warrant, not this judge, some other judge
Yes,
out
ma'am.
there. And that judge found that you failed to appear for some court hearing or another. And that judge said, you have no bond. And the unfortunate thing about situations like this is that if you were in jail in another county, or you were holding your wife's hand while she gave birth, that might cause you to be excused for that failure to appear. That's not something this court can address. You have to address that with the judge who issued the warrant.
Yes, ma'am.
So you have no bond until then. Okay. Rodriguez Negron, you were arrested for possession of amphetamine. Does he qualify for pretrial release? And so ordered, and I'd also like him drug tested twice a month. Cornelius Sessions. Hi, Mr. Sessions.
How you doing, ma'am?
I'm okay. Possession of a controlled substance is the reason for your arrest. Does Mr. Sessions qualify for pretrial release?
No, Your Honor.
Oh, so sorry. Sorry, he's got more than one. Oh, dear. Okay, so then there's a warrant out there for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and 7 counts of possession of ammunition by a convicted felon, unlawful discharge of a firearm, shooting from a vehicle within 1,000 feet of a person, discharging a firearm in public, shooting from a vehicle, whoa. And then robbery, sudden okay, let me just stop. Hold on just 1 second. All right, now, on the possession of a controlled substance, the bond on that is $1,000. On all this firearm charges, on count 1, possession of a firearm, bond is $4,000. On all of the counts for possession of ammunition, the bond is $150. That's counts 2 through 8. Count 9, unlawful discharge of a firearm, $150. Shooting from a vehicle, etc., $150. Discharging a firearm in public, $150. It is a warrant. Shooting from a vehicle, $150. Oh, yeah, okay. Who signed this? Alrighty. Then, robbery, sudden snatching, that's $1,000 bond, and battery, $100. Okay. And I think that's the end of it. All right. Okay, Miss Betty Simmons, I signed your warrant last night. Miss Betty Simmons, count 1, aggravated battery on a person 65 years of old, causing great bodily harm. $10,000 bond, battery on a person 65 years of age or older, $150. Burglary of an occupied dwelling, $150. Contempt of court, violation of a domestic, or violation of some kind of violence injunction in domestic relations court, $10,000. Antoine Streeter. Okay, let's see. Whoa. Mr. Streeter. Whoa. How did this happen? Okay, failure to appear. Okay, so Mr. Streeter has a warrant with 4 counts, 4 failures to appear, and on each of those he has no bond. And then he's got a warrant out for first-degree murder with a firearm, no bond. Attempted first-degree murder with a firearm, no bond. Carjacking with a weapon or a firearm, no bond. Whoa. How did he get a FTA? Let's see. Okay, thank you. Oh, so he's been gone. It's because this warrant's 2017. So yeah, in the wind, as they say. Yes. Huh. I believe he was brought here from other state friends. Uh-huh.
Oh, you put it, well, he know he can't have no contact with state witness.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Ernest Toomer. Mr. Toomer, you got arrested for possession of cocaine. your bond is $1,000. Loitering or prowling, your bond is $100. And resisting without, your bond is $100. So what about PTR for Mr. Toomer? He does. Okay, so the court would release him to PTR, and he needs to be drug tested twice a month. Sadiqa Wade?
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Wade, you got arrested for driving without a driver's license as a habitual traffic offender, and also for violation of out-of-county probation. So on that driving without a license, your bond's $2,500, and on the VOP, you got no bond.
Yeah, that's what it said.
Your Honor, I believe the driving while license suspended should be a misdemeanor traffic. There's no basis in the PC for the enhancement.
Denied. There is. Okay. Desmond Walsh.
After you say that. Sorry about that.
Okay, Mr. Walsh, this is a sad sight here.
I know.
A sad sight. Okay, because you got these cases that you're out on bond on. You were out on bond in a case for possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia. Then in a second case, you're out on bond for possession of cannabis, possession of cocaine, possession of drug paraphernalia, and possession of ammunition by a person who committed a delinquent act. Then you're out on bond for possession of cocaine with intent to purchase, possession of cannabis. And then here you are arrested on possession of cocaine. So your bond on the cocaine is $1,000. And then, oh, that's different. All right, and your bond in the other cases is revoked.
Your Honor, he has a private attorney. I don't know if the court wants to still appoint the PD for today.
You have a private attorney on 2 cases, and 1 case he don't have an attorney, so we're appointing the PD on the one. I'm sorry, Jackson. I didn't mean to say that.
Go.
We're appointing the PD on 2019 CF 5909.
Okay.
And the other 2 is private attorney.
All right, thank you.
I'm sorry, Jackson.
Jeez, come on, please. No, listen, I appreciate bossy competence. I like that. I have no problem. Bossy incompetence? No. No. All right, Antonio Washington. Mr. Washington, you got arrested for robbery, what's called using subsequent force, which a lawyer can explain to you, and anything you want to say about that?
No, Your Honor.
$2,500 is your bond.
He has some conditions, Judge.
Oh, he has some conditions, hang on. So, where are they?
See, red tiny, no return. See, yeah, right, everything, keep going.
Other conditions. Oh, no contact with the victim, do not return to the scene. Duh. Okay, good. All these co-defendants. Okay, Mr. Larry Wilcox was arrested for grand theft 3rd degree. His bond is $6,000. $7,500, and it looks like he might not qualify for the public defender. It says on a note here, does not qualify. But
Well, he's over like $25, but his expense is like $1,300.
okay, he
Okay,
qualifies.
so I wasn't sure. That's
He
what I was
qualifies.
questioning.
No.
Your Honor, did the court consider reducing the bond in his case as to the grand theft?
And why would I do that?
Just, it's increased beyond the scheduled amount, and I'm not really sure why, based on the affidavit. He can give testimony as to his ability to pay.
75, but on there it's what, 25?
Oh, is that a 2? I thought it was a 7. Oh my gosh. 2,500. I'm so sorry. I got to stop by
He
my.
should have 2 cases.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, he's got a traffic case too. No valid driver's license. His bond's $500 on that. I got to stop by my glasses at the dollar store, which oh, are you kidding me? Come on. But finally, they're not making them strong enough for me. So I do have a eye doctor appointment. But one reason I like these is I lose them, it's $1. But see, because I know I won't get, well, I won't be able to, I'll lose them. Oh, Lord. Okay. Brendan Gomer?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, dear Mr. Oh, okay, you got a bond, that's good. Mr. Gomer, what is this capias? Oh, sorry, it's been a while. He failed to appear for arraignment according to this in February, and his bond is $500. Are you Rocco Montella? Okay. So, oh, Lord, it's really good that I don't have to read the factual basis for this charge. Because I just have a particular issue with this, so I probably have to disqualify myself. You were arrested on a warrant for cruelty to animals, and you got no bond.
He got
Does he have another one? Excuse
he
me.
got another one? No, he have a condition placed right here.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay. And no PTR or ROR.
Replace him on a mental health. Is there anything like this?
The judge who signed this can do that. I'm not doing it on this charge.
I understand, Your Honor. Is the court setting a bond, like a monetary bond?
No?
The court has to for a misdemeanor, or really for any felony, unless it's a punishable by life offense where the state's...
Not where I have a warrant that says 0.
I understand your ruling, Your Honor, but even if there's a warrant, there's case law that gives the initial appearance judge the authority and discretion to set one. Just because the warrant comes in that way doesn't mean that he isn't
But you know, as a
entitled.
matter, think about the words that you're choosing there, okay? Because you just said that first you said a bond is mandatory.
Yes, Your
That was
Honor.
the word you chose.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then you said, where it comes in on a warrant with no bond, the IA judge has the discretion. So that's a completely different word than mandatory.
Yes, Your Honor.
So no, I won't be setting a bond.
Just to clarify, my argument is that the court has discretion to move a warrant amount up or down, but that the charge itself, the misdemeanor, does require him to get a bond. So the initial appearance judge normally has discretion on the bond amount, but he is entitled to a bond per the statute.
Is this a misdemeanor, cruelty to animals?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, then his bond is $100,000.
And Your Honor, at that point, I would be asking the court to consider his ability to pay and the other requirements that
I
the
think
statute
probably
lays
what's
out.
appropriate here is that I hereby disqualify myself on this case, because it's possible I cannot be fair and impartial on this charge. I'm no longer in criminal, so I don't confront it. So he's ordered, he is bound by this warrant until,
It says right here to brought to trial division within 2 business days.
okay, so he's to be brought to the trial division within 2 business days. If that doesn't happen, what I would say is he needs to see the IA judge Monday here in the jail.
Sure. Thank you.
So you want to reset it to Monday?
Mm-hmm.
But the bond, everything.
Mhm. Crouch.
Crouch
You're not-
bonded, Your Honor.
Oh. Okay, all right. Anibal Ferreira,
Ferreira, yes.
beg your pardon, Ferreira.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Now, Mr. Ferreira, you, according to a judge, failed to appear for something, but that judge did set a bond of $4,000.
Yes. I can't afford that right now. Please.
Okay. So, I'm not inclined to make any change to this.
Can you please break a little bit?
No, sir. All right. Latrice Perry, is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
Say your name for me.
Laditris.
Laditris. I was going to get it wrong no matter what. Okay, Miss Perry, you got a warrant for failure to appear to some court date, and the judge who signed that warrant set your bond at $1,000.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what about my Polk County?
I don't know about that.
This, I think is a detain, a hold, I don't know, I'm not sure.
We can't, we don't know about Polk County.
Okay.
All we know is this is an orange, I'm sorry, go ahead, you talk.
She'll be transferred there after you solve the.
After I saw, okay, so Polk County will come get me, okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Tamir Jones?
Chief mental health, Your Honor.
Yay. Okay, Alfred McKenzie?
He refused, Your Honor.
Yay. 2 in a row, yes. Thomas Nelson?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Nelson, you got arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia. Hang on just 1 minute. And your bond on that's $500?
Ma'am.
What says the public defender? Anything?
I'd ask for ROR, Your Honor, based on the nature of the offense.
Okay, that's denied. Anything else?
And would ask the court to consider Mr. Nelson's inability to pay along with the nature of the offense. Looks like he is on Social Security, so if he can provide an address to the court.
Okay, that's also denied.
Does the state have an offer, Your Honor?
No, the state doesn't have an offer today.
Okay, thank you. Maria Pernisi? Miss Pernisi, golly. So you get arrested for petty theft, and your bond on that is $250. Hang on.
Do you have a PD on the other case? You're out on
But see, you're out on bond on this possession of heroin and possession of drug paraphernalia and grand theft. So your bond is revoked. Even though the gentleman in the paper is gonna revoke your PTR.
that guy shot that deputy sheriff in that Walmart, I mean, every time I just, that flashes in my head, because I just see her. Oh, God. When, that case is never gonna get to trial. What a nightmare.
Are you Mr. Hodge? Okay, hi, Mr. Hodge. You got a warrant here from some other county, not us. Burglary of an unoccupied structure, 5 counts. Grand theft, 2 counts. So,
It's a Polk County case.
yeah, Polk County.
It's the same thing.
And you have no bond. So Polk County will have to come get you to resolve this. All right. Paul Neeps?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that how to say your name?
Yes, it is actually.
Okay. Mr. Neeps, you got an out-of-county warrant for violation of probation, and you have no bond.
Yes.
Polk County also, yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Here we go. I think these might be the approvals. Okay, James Brown. Mr. Brown, let's see now. You were arrested for possession of synthetic weed, synthetic cannabinoids. And your bond on that is $1,500. Why does it, bond is therefore reset from 5-4?
What's his name? What did you say from yesterday?
Yeah, but
You
why
go
is
to
it,
the next page, it'll tell you why it was at the top. You refused.
to do what? To come to
Yes.
court? Oh, I see. Oh, I beg your pardon. So, is this a plea, can he plead out to this?
Not a felony.
No. Oh, it's a felony? Oh. How much I know. Sorry. All right. Kristen Consol. Kirsten, first of
She
all.
was reset until Monday, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm sorry. I almost made a music thing, but I just didn't have it in me. It's way too tall, anyway. Okay, are you Mr. Sims?
Yes.
Mr. Sims, you, let's see. You were arrested for violation of probation. And it looks like you were put on probation by Judge Kest. And then, is this an on view because he was arrested? Yeah. So his bond is 0?
Was he already IA'd on the misdemeanors?
Most of what,
Okay.
yes.
Had to have been because it's not with us. Okay, Mr. Beard? Okay, Mr. Beard, let's see now what you got. You got a charge of violation of probation, and you got no bond on that. But this must be an on view also.
We have a new charge, another
The new-
charge.
Yeah, okay, I see. And then you have a charge of possession of a controlled substance without a prescription, that's $1,000 bond. And possession of drug equipment, that's $100 bond.
There's 8 of those, Judge. 8 counts.
Oh, let me see now. Oh, I didn't see that.
See the eight next to the charge?
Oh, 8 drug equipment, 8 counts. Thank you. And on each count then, it's $100, yeah. And then you've got driving with an expired license, more than 6 months, $500, and then attaching a registration, a license plate not assigned, $250.
Judge, will the court consider RORing on the traffic cases?
No.
And as to the possession of drug paraphernalia, if court's finding PC, could we ROR on the
Say
seven
that again.
counts?
You're questioning PC on the paraphernalia?
It seems overcharged, Your Honor, but I don't think I have a legal basis to challenge PC, so I'm asking the court to ROR on 7 of the 8 counts of drug paraphernalia.
Okay, I'll ROR him on 7 of the 8 counts.
Thank you.
That seems reasonable. Okay.
You're all set. So it's still on
No, not on the VOP.
Jeremy Cherry. Mr. Cherry, you're here on a charge of violation of probation, among other things, and on the VOP, you have no bond. Then there's a second VOP on which you have no bond. And then there is a new charge, burglary of an unoccupied dwelling. Your bond on that is $5,000, and criminal mischief in your bond is $100. All right, now, let's see. Okay, so, Mr. Joseph. Mr. Joseph, you're here on a charge of violation of probation. On that, you have no bond. Then you got possession of cannabis with intent to sell. That's a $5,000 bond. And then possession of over 20 grams of cannabis that's set at $1,000, but I'm gonna reduce that to $150. What does EP mean? I don't know what that means. Okay. All right.
Your Honor, I appreciate the court reducing the bond, but it's gonna actually cost him more. $150 is gonna cost him more than $1,000, believe it or not.
Oh, using a bondsman, okay. Well, see, the thing is, I'm also revoking his bond.
I understand.
Okay, okay, so I'll just leave it then at 1,000.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Need to revoke the bond, right?
Uh-huh. All right, now, Mr. Lopez, you were arrested for violation of probation. You have no bond. Okay, no, that's Crystal Bethia.
She's mental health, Your Honor.
And then Eric Bowers.
He actually was time served on his city and county charge. He only has child support charges now.
You must then be Mr. Dyer.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Dyer, you're here on charges of camping and then something else some other city municipal violation. Let me just see.
Excuse me, ma'am, I wasn't camping.
Okay, hang on, just let me think about this a second, and then I'll get right back to you. It looks like paraphernalia. Maybe? No? What is it? Sleeping, because it says both are, state misdemeanors. I guess it's paraphernalia. So is this a pleable case?
Yes, Your Honor, on the camping and the state misdemeanor is paraphernalia.
Well,
Yes.
you need to confirm, I just scanned it. If I'm wrong about that, I'm so happy to stand corrected.
Yes, Your Honor, it's a glass pipe. However, there was residue that tested presumptive positive for cocaine.
So what does that mean?
I mean, he's not. The
So
state-
can we plead this out, yes, no?
No, Your Honor, since it sounds like there may be a related felony charge.
He said I'm only here for camping.
That was Friday. That's FAU down
I ain't got no drug for any of the charge.
in Butte, huh? I'm so proud. She's a good girl. She's going into the Peace
No
Corps
cap,
June
no
10th.
drug
She
for
leaves
it.
for 2 years, and it's in this country I never heard of called Benin. I want Africa. They don't have this place. I'm telling you, look at that, and it's like, whoa. There's not even any windows on the, you know, no glass or, I mean, it is poor.
No,